Reacting to victorious progressive candidates who cheated their centrist rivals out of $70 million worth of AIPAC nomination, centrist PACs are set to continue combat, or at least offer sage advice. In response to Michigan Senate nominee Dr. Abdul El Sayed's mantra,
"We got an opportunity in this race to think differently. We're running a campaign to get money out of politics, put money in your pocket, pass Medicare for all."
Status quo centrists hope he will concentrate on the narrow, opportunist, self-centered one of the three and ignore the systemic ones that are controversial, in that the SQCs oppose them. In the continuing war on South American fishing boats, one snuff plane has been traced to a company whose office has been traced to a UPS store in Richmond, Virginia, located conveniently close to the Pentaprogram. Other planes surveilling the fisher druggies display the flag of El Salvador, which makes great economic sense since we spent all those blood-soaked tax dollars pulverizing the peasants of that CIA-torn nation. One plausible scenario for these escapades is that the pirate Pentagon has subcontracted the devilish daring-do to pirate enterprise subcontractors. No, not Israeli settlers. They're busy occupying elsewhere. So it turns out it's Old Faithful, the CIA. All of this comes in the context of the Trump escalation, or Trumpscalation, of the drug war, which comes in context of the need to feed the military maw millions of billions more, and to ensure the safety of Americans from the Epstein files. A sweeping counter-democracy political cleansing attack, undertaken under National Security Presidential Memo 7, authorizes surveillance of anyone who is said to be a terrorist, which is defined as anti-Christian or anti-capitalist, also anti-American, but Trump is exempted. Targets include unions and climate activists, but not you, so you have nothing to worry about. In blackmail news, David Ellison says if he can't buy Warner Brothers, he will pull Paramount out of California. He explained his take-my-ball-and-go-home strategy by noting that, clearly, we're not wanted here, which is a common capitalist shorthand for clearly we're not wanted to be buying and destroying an industry. Most companies that flee blue states move to the red part of the divided states, and Tennessee has been making overtures, touting their ongoing destruction of country music as a qualification for destroying cinema. But New Jersey is also applying, which makes sense, since the American film industry was born there, in Fort Lee, and thus may as well die there. With the top of the world warming at a rapid pace, President 2025 has found an innovative solution: cancel the annual report on changes in the Arctic. What you don't know about snow can't hurt you, except for that part of you that's on the planet. Never one to confine himself to destroying America, Trump aims to create a container ship theme park in the region, with Trump cruise ships plying the new waterways. People accuse the station of taking unwarranted aim at the North Pole, but in fairness, they have also stopped tracking the costs of weather disasters worldwide and short-circuited the National Climate Assessment. Some of the work will be taken up by the private sector, which can do it more efficiently. Fossil fuel companies, for instance, can bring the reports in under budget by massaging the statistics with AI. Juan Orlando Hernandez, the former drug dealer and president of Honduras, pardoned by Trump at the behest of the Honorable Roger Stone, returned to the country of the crime to find 46% of Hondurans supporting his Trumpistic victory lap. This adherence of one-half the population to the firm leader cult prompted Father Ovidio Rodriguez to declare from the pulpit, "The Honduran people are masochists." He went on to include, in one commentator's vivid imagination, Norte-Americanos who forgive Trump his trespasses, which include trespassing in Venezuela and Gaza, trespass polluting in national forests, trespass bombing of civilian fishing boats, and trespass fake presidenting. Or so it is alleged by 150 million clearly biased non-cult members. The invasion of Greenland has begun, courtesy of a one-year-old Texas oil company, Greenland Energy, with ties to Trump, bringing in unauthorized equipment for unauthorized oil drilling. Greenland Thievery says there may be $1 trillion of oil waiting for them there if the Greens would just get out of the way. The pirates claim they have permission to bring in the equipment, but would not disclose whether it has been placed in the Gulf of Green Tonkin or if it is still aboard the Maine.
I believe in collective liberation. That means that none of us are free until everyone else is free. Everyone else. And that is the Congo to Sudan. That is Cuba to Lebanon. That is Gaza to the West Bank.
Against taking hostages. I want the hostages to come home, the Israeli hostages to come home, and I want the thousands of Palestinians being held unjustly in Israeli prison to come home. Nobody should be held hostage.
Torture of prisoners by Israel has suddenly become believable, as it is now reported by white English-speaking flotillistas who were kidnapped in international waters by the only democratic genocider in the Middle East. It could be just a conspiracy among the activists to smear Israel's once medium passable name, except for the presentation of numerous injuries that beggared denial, including beatings and rape. I realize that paying for the torture of one's friends is normal in a semi-democratic imperial power, but it still aggravates me that people don't notice. And if they do, they note that Israel has a right to defend itself against people who, well, question their domination, expropriation, and unapologetic racism. And a federal appeals court has declared that President Trump is a tenant of the White House and not its owner, and that he must therefore desist from its destruction. The right to alter the mansion is reserved to Congress, though the Prez, of course, retains the right to alter the Congress if they attempt to, what's the phrase, do their job.